again, everybody. Y'all may notice, well, I'm driving. Actually, driving on wood. It's mostly wood, and still got the fuel pump running, so it is using some gasoline because I'm still in the hills. Now, what we're doing, taking this thing I made up to Mom, and it's about a 200-mile drive. So let's just do us a little 200-mile drive on Woodgas. I've got a hopper full of wood, a couple bags of wood in the back to refill with, and everything seems to be running good so far. I'll just chime back in and let you know how it's going, and we're just going to travel. Okay, so we're about 40 miles in, or yeah, about 45 miles, something like that in, and it started bridging off. We want to stop and get something to eat, so we're at Hardee's, actually. So yeah, I stopped and kind of had to take my rod and stir it up a little bit because it was bridging. I noticed a couple of things. Let me get back in the truck. Okay, so we're back on the road again. Main reason was just to stop to get us a bite, but like I said, starting to show signs of it bridging. What I noticed, what I was noticing, it was starting to lose a little bit of power, and I had torque running on the phone through the OBD2 system. That's how I monitor my oxygen sensor, and I monitor my fuel trims and miles per gallon and all that. I noticed that the miles per gallon started kind of dropping down. It was staying over like 40 to 50 miles per gallon, and it started dropping down, and it was getting down into like the 30s. And also my fuel trim was going almost back to normal. Fuel trim a lot of times will stay like negative 20 or negative 15 or 15. Well, which means that it's just barely just spitting a little bit of fuel in. It's not putting very much gasoline in because it doesn't need it. Now it was starting to need it again, and it was getting down to negative 4, negative 5, and that was meaning that it was pretty much just running on gasoline. So that's one reason. We was hungry too, so you know, it's a good excuse to stop in. I just got out, took that rodded the wood on down, and basically I could feel it. As soon as I put that rod down into the gasifier, I could feel there was a void in there, and it collapsed, and temperature started returning to normal. And now that I'm driving again, well, I got the camera on, so I can't, I'm using the phone for everything. But I already noticed that there's more power, and I may have to adjust, pull my knobs a little. Woodgas valve is all the way open. Air valve is open some. That's about where it normally runs. We're going uphill right now, so it has to spit in a little extra gasoline. It does end up being a bit of a problem with using the phone to film with. I can't monitor the oxygen sensor and the other stuff. But anyway, seems to be running better now, and applying a lot less throttle than I would normally have to in this case. Getting up to about 55, up around 60 or so. Now it flattens out up here. I've been averaging probably around 40 miles to the gallon normally. Running hybrid. Once it is flattened out, I'm going to try switching the fuel pump completely off, seeing if I can just run without it at all, and I'll check back in. But I'm going to shut this camera off so I can pull torque back up and monitor my numbers. Anyway, I'll check back in a little while. Alright, so we're about halfway, about 100 miles in. I'm going to dump this other bag of wood in, and that's my last bag. That's my second one. So, we'll see how far that takes us. But it still seems to be making some smoke. But I'm going to dump this in, and we'll get it back on the road, and I'll check back in a little bit. Okay, so actually it's the next day. We're up here. It was getting dark last night, so I didn't fool with filming, but alright, we have went, let me pull it up here, 227 miles. Let's pump us some gas and see how much we used. Okay, so the pump is ready here. I'll show it from the start, see how much we have. Not too many choices on this one. And let's go.
Metrobus operators earn $54,000
Probably have to speed this up a little.
Up to $63,000 by year.
I'll come back.
Full-time work. Great.
Okay, there you go. Looks like, can you see it? $12.08, 3.4 gallons. So about 3.5 gallons to go, what, 200 and, what was it? Okay, so 227 miles. And if it will focus in here, it's not going to focus, is it? 3.472 gallons. I see that's not horrible, is it? That's not too awful bad for a full-size V8 pickup truck. Problem was, I could run probably 60, pushing it, more like 50 to 55. I actually could completely run on wood gas there for a while. Now it kind of run out of wood gas probably, I don't know, a few miles before we stopped. Kind of run out of wood, so no wood for the way back. So I guess my cost is about halved of what it would have been. You know, if I'd have brought more wood, it'd have been like $20 to drive to Cincinnati and back. But that's all right. I'm pretty satisfied with that. I say that's a successful test. Anyway, I guess that's going to be about it for this video. I appreciate everybody watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.